Right, cool. I love NFL, but I don't even care about the teams. Anyway, it's fine. Anyway, it was good. It was a lot of interesting stuff came from it though. Like there was an article saying, or maybe a NFL post on Instagram saying that Tom Brady was the best sportsman in the world ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Which is a bold claim.
Yeah, big call.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Wow. I mean, listen, he's great. Like, he's done more than any other quarterback, right? He's won more Super Bowls than a franchise, than a whole franchise, right?
Yeah.
So he's undoubtedly the greatest quarterback of all time, surely, right?
Yes.
I mean, specifically in the Super Bowl era. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. He's amazing, and he's proved us all wrong because we were all dissing him, saying he's an old man, he can't run, can't do this, can't do that, he needs Belichick, etc., and he proved us wrong. So, fair play to him. He's also, a multi-millionaire, and he's got a stunner of a wife who's richer than he is. So, I mean, he's not really put a foot wrong, has he? As a lad, as a bloke, right? But to say that he's the greatest sportsman of all time, I mean, yeah, I've been sort of on the WhatsApp groups with a few people today, like talking about this, like who's the greatest sportsman of all time, and we sort of came to the conclusion that you can't really pick one, can you? Really, because like there are team sports and there are solo sports. There are different ages, different technologies. There's 100 reasons why you can't pick one, right? But it is super fun to think about. Right, so I thought we could kind of discuss this evening, and we could maybe not try and find who is the greatest, but let's pick one each and think who is our greatest. Yeah, because nobody can argue with your own mind. Yeah, so I think it'd be a nice little exercise. Yeah,
yeah. But I tell you what, I've got a quick question before we go into those though.
Sure.
Does the idea of a sports person being in a team take away from their overall achievement?
No.
So as good as Tom Brady is, okay, cool, yeah. So I kind of agree, but just to put the full point, as good as Tom Brady is the fact that he's in a team of like 50 people, if you include all three, like defense, special teams, and and offense. Like he's not the only one, even though he really is the only one that's made that team get to the Super Bowl because they were terrible before he was there. But do you see what I'm saying? Like you kind of have to divvy up at least some of the achievement to some of the other players. Whereas if you've got like a golfer or a tennis player or someone who's just a solo, there's no one else to give the credit to, right? They've done it all.
Yeah.
Does that kind of in your mind sort of change the way you think about it?
Not for me. No, personally. To your point, you said when the NFL season started, you mentioned how he's an old timer, Brady, and he's not going to do anything. I don't know as much about it as you guys, but did they even make the playoffs last year? The Chiefs?
But the Bucks.
Bucks, sorry,
he
Bucks.
was in the Bucks, yeah.
No, they didn't, no.
So in the space of 12 months, they've gone from not even making the playoffs to winning it.
Yeah.
Yes, there may have been one or two additions, if we exclude Tom Brady from this. They've got Gronk and they might have got two or three other players. But still, that one player who, let's be honest, dictates the entire game, has made them win the biggest prize in that sport. Whereas 12 months ago, they were not even in the picture.
Yeah. I think it almost sort of gives him more kudos. The fact that he's carrying the other guys along with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you could say, oh, well, it's to do with all of them. And it's like, well, obviously they've all been out on the field, they've all played, they've all trained and stuff. But like, he's the difference, right? He's the main difference. And they've gone from zero to hero, So it gives him more kudos. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think just because you're part of a team means that you should be given less kudos. Basically, I think if anything, like you should be given more because there are lots of things that are out of your hands. At least with Andy Murray, it's like if he screws up or if he succeeds, it's entirely down to him. Okay, it's his fault. But if you're someone like Tom Brady, or in a team, and the rest of the team are screwing up all over the place, and you still drag them out of the dirt, and you still get them to the Super Bowl, and you still win, it's like you've gone above and beyond. So I think it's even better.
Yeah, I do. I agree with both of you. I do, though, think that maybe there is, just talking about NFL, so obviously I'm a Seahawks fan. Russell Wilson's our quarterback, and I feel like he is. I think he could do what Tom Brady does if he were in the position that he was in. So what I mean by that is, our offensive line, the Seahawks' offensive line, is terrible at the moment. So Russell Wilson's constantly like basically what Mahomes was doing last night. He's just running for his life the entire game, and he's still making amazing plays and still winning games. Obviously, not enough to win the league, but Tom Brady last night was completely safe the entire game. So imagine his offensive line was the same as Mahomes and was really struggling. Would he have been able to win? You see what I mean?
Yeah. I think he would personally, but I get your point. Right. Yeah, I mean, he got sacked a couple of times, though, didn't he? I saw on the highlights he got found out a couple of times, but
a couple of times at the beginning. In fact, I think the first play he got sacked actually, right. which was promising. First sort of drive, but that didn't mean anything in the end. But yeah, no, exactly. But it wasn't to the level of the Chiefs, and also again the Chiefs got loads of penalties, so there was tons of people that let Mahomes down.
Yeah,
you see what I mean. So it's like it was like you say, there was loads of things outside of Mahomes' control that he couldn't do anything about. If his defense keep giving away 10 yards every couple of plays, and then they end up. So there was one perfect example. They were going to go for a kick. Defense just randomly just went offside for a kick, a field goal, 3 points, no big deal. And then they went and scored a touchdown straight after that from the penalty. It's like Mahomes is on the sidelines, like crying. He can't do anything about it. You know,
I love that meme of his face, the sad look in his eyes that he can't do anything.
I don't know. I just feel, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Really, but
I agree with you, especially with some of those points, especially. And I guess the tough thing with what we're doing is we're looking at two teams in one night. You know, so for me, I would imagine someone like Brady, with his stature of just walking into the building, everyone goes up by 10-15%. And then they're working 3-4 hours a day so that they're getting 2% better per day. So it's just a snowball effect, and it's a mindset change. You know what I mean? And from what I understand, Patrick Mahomes is going to become a winner eventually, multi Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, big time.
But I just think because Brady's he's like 45 now, isn't he, or something like that? I saw, which is
44, I think. Yeah,
bonkers in itself. Yeah. But when he walked into that new team on day one, everyone steps up. The plays get more brutal. The plays get more consistent. Therefore, the runners know that little bit more. The guys stopping the other people from getting Brady. That proves my knowledge of NFL. They're going to want to put the extra 5% in.
Yeah, big time.
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think he does. He must have, because the team, like as good as Brady was, he's obviously lifted the entire team up, and they all realised, oh yeah, we might actually be able to win. So let's try and win. And it's clearly made a difference, you know, because that team literally have been at the bottom of the pile for years and years and years. And it must bring people down. They must realise they're never going to win the Super Bowl when they turn up to play every season. But then they get the best quarterback ever in the team, and they're like, oh, actually, we could possibly win. And then they go to do it. It shows that the mentality side of it is huge. You're right. Yeah, okay. It's I mean, I've got my pick, but it's just I wanted to have a chat and see how you guys have been thinking about it. So.
Sweet. If you've got one in the chamber, let's hear it. Who's your greatest sportsman of all time?
You're going to like this one. I've been thinking, I think I wanted to go for a non-team sport. I wanted to go for an individual person that's proved themselves time and time again. And I thought championships mean skill. All right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going for someone who's won a lot in their respective field. And by a lot, I mean an insane amount. And I've mentioned this person a few times, and I've actually met him in real life at the Linford Workingmen's Club. And this man, the greatest sportsman of all time, is Phil the Power Taylor. 16 World Championship darts winnings. That's insane. 16 times he's won it. Oh, now, you name another person that's won that many World Championships, and I'll take my hat off and let you have it, but I don't know anyone.
Mate, even Brady's not got a leg to stand on.
Brady's nowhere near that. Yeah.
That's incredible. That was so out of nowhere. That's such a curveball. I love it though.
You teed that up beautifully as well. I had no idea where you were going with it, but it hit the mark.
Yeah. But like in all seriousness, he was the most dominant darts player, and obviously people can talk about darts as much as they want, but like he was the most dominant player for like at least 10 years, more than that. 16 years he's won it. Let's say like 15 of those he was like just the favourite every single time.
Yeah.
And it's just, God, that's like unheard of in most sports, right? I mean, that does happen, obviously, but I just, as non-physical as darts is, it's still a sport. And I just think, it's pretty amazing to be that amazing for that length of time in anything, really. So,
there's plenty of longevity in darts, isn't there? There's not really an age cap. If anything, you get better with age, right?
Yeah.
So long as that elbow holds out.
Yeah. Imagine if they ate salads and didn't drink as much. Bloody hell, they'd be able to go forever.
Yeah.
It's their diet that stops them.
Yeah. Or lack of. Yeah.
Or lack of, yeah.
Yeah. They just eat brown foods, don't they, darts players, I think. It's a little bit similar to someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan, isn't it? Because he's he's a sort of a halfway house. I guess snooker's a little bit more physical, but it's not super physical. It's a bit of a halfway house, but he's the same sort of thing. He's been just going for years.
It's not
and
that
years
physical,
and years.
is it? I mean,
can have a good back.
Can snooker and darts even be called physical sports? All you have to do is be able to walk.
You've got to be able to keep your gut off the table from stop it from hitting the other balls.
Fair cop, yeah. Yeah.
So, mate, I've never been to a darts game, darts match, darts tournament, whatever you want to call it. I would bloody love to go. Ever since we started the podcast, we've mentioned it every now and again. Go for it, Sam.
I have a great story, and it links back to one of your previous podcasts, which I recommend all listeners should go back and listen to.
Ooh,
nice.
Inferno's Clapham.
Oh yes, here we go.
February 2020. Me and a whole load of my mates went to a Legends of Darts night at Clapham at Inferno's.
Nice.
Amazing.
One of the best nights of my entire life. One of the best nights. I mean, I didn't know who any of these guys were. For all I know, the guy you mentioned could have been there.
Big Phil.
Big Phil could have been there.
How dare you?
But
you say his full name, Phil the Power Taylor, and you don't say anything else.
Phil the Power Taylor. Let me get the night up while I'm looking.
Yeah, he must be knighted by now, surely. Let me just double check this.
He looks a bit like Jean-Claude Van Damme. He should be alongside on the Google.
He is the Jean-Claude Van Damme of darts. That's what he.
Let me get the poster up. Here you go. So we had Bobby George.
Never heard of her.
Oh, he's the one with all the gold rings and stuff, eh?
Yeah.
On his hands, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Keith Deller. Colin Lloyd. And Wayne Mardle. I think that's Mardle. Yeah, basically. And
not sure.
Just an absolute
love it.
And it was amazing.
Amazing.
We had the big fingers out. We had the jugs of beer that were flat after 1 pint because you're in Infernos and it's in a jug, so it sat there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
you had this is pre-COVID, so you had all your table snacks,
Nice.
And the ring girls, who were.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a bit controversial now, isn't it? They've been have they sort of cancelled ring girls or has darts fought back?
I hope darts have fought back.
Yeah, I mean maybe they tried to do that just before COVID kicked in. I guess. Oh, mind you, if you're saying that was February 2020, that would have been just before everything shut down. Yeah. I remember reading an article though saying that they were trying to stop it, or somebody was trying to stop it. But let's hope it all blows over, and then when we go back to Infernos, they'll forget about it.
Infernos is a law upon itself, so I think if they're going to be anywhere, they'll be there.
Yeah, amazing.
Love it.
I'm so jealous. That sounds like a banging night. Yeah, can't wait to go back.
Darts is great. Did you get a little card where you could write something on and hold it up? Like on the like in the TV when Seven Nation Army comes on, da, 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 and you just got your cards going like that.
Oh yeah, people are standing on tables. We were all mingling with other tables. It was unbelievable. And they actually had a section where